Okay, this video covers a trip down Forest Service Road 103, which begins at Highway 130, just around the corner from Silver Lake, past the Sucker Lake Road, and goes north, and eventually you can make your way all the way to Interstate 80. And that's what we're going to do today. This is a continuation of the trip up to Phantom Lake. So we had returned this way on 130 from Phantom Lake and decided to go on up. There seemed to be enough time left. We'll just zoom out a little bit. Here's the Snowy Range, and French Creek runs down through here, and if you look over here to the east, there's Sheep Mountain, and changing map styles here to different scale. There's Laramie right over there. So let's zoom back in, get a little more detail on what the local area looks like. Notice on the map that the quality of the road, this is paved, this is improved gravel up to just past South Twin Lake, and then beyond South Twin Lake, the quality of the road's considerably better if you like four-wheeling, and not so good if you're in a lowrider. But this road is not too bad a four-wheel drive trail. Most outfits should be able to make it. The only issue is there's a few rocks here and there, so you need good clearance, and the larger rocks aren't too bad, but if you have a standard SUV, you might want to be a little careful picking your way in spots, picking your line to have the tires go over the rocks. But most reasonably well set four-wheel drives high off the ground won't have any trouble with this trail. As we work our way north, we'll eventually come to Dipper Lake. This is a real pretty place to stop. I camped here once a couple of years ago, and then took a hike down this trail, which is now a foot trail, on over to Heart Lake. We're pretty high up here. Elevation contour 10,600 feet right here, and Dipper Lake's a couple lines up from that. Each one of these squares here is a mile, give you some idea of scale here. This area is right on the edge of timberline. Up here we're pushing 12,000 feet, and this is all bare rock above timberline. So we have a lot of nice sweet grass tundra meadows, and it's really a pretty place to go. A lot of wildflowers. As you work your way north, you'll see there's a few little lakes here and there, a little road that runs down towards Quealy Lake here. Go across a fairly large meadowed area here, which I would imagine at the right time of day might be a good place to find wildlife. Tendency to gradually drop downhill through this area here, and then we turn fairly abruptly to the west into the trees. Pretty rocky in here, pretty thick timber, and on the video you'll notice there's kind of one tricky muddy spot. I think it's right in here. There is an alternative around that, which I chose to take since I was by myself, but I probably could have gotten through it, or had to winch it out. I could have, but why ask for trouble if you don't need it when you're out in the middle of nowhere? As it turns out, this little rough spot isn't too far from a fairly main road, The 103 hooks up to 105. Short little jump over here to Road 100. This is a well-maintained road here. You can drive a regular car. It's a dirt road. Seems like a highway after all that four-wheeling. Still in real pretty country. Follow that road to the north and you'll find yourself up here to Turpin Reservoir. Here's the dam. We pulled off here and looks like I'm in the water, but the reservoir's down a little bit. A couple people fishing there. Dogs got to chase birds and swim a little bit, so that was probably the highlight for them. And then we leave Turpin and work our way on north towards town of Elk Mountain. We're still in National Forest here. Quite a little bit of forest still here. Real interesting topography in this area. You get off to the side, you see these areas that just have a million little lakes. This is all glacial till that geomorphologists believe had blocks of ice in it, glacial ice that eventually melted, and that resulted in just gobs and gobs of depressions and swampy areas. Interesting place to hunt mushrooms. Anyway, we come on up here, we'll eventually run into Road 101. You can run back this way and eventually come out on Sand Lake Road, but we'll go on up to the interstate today, and it's pretty country out here. You get away from the woods a little bit and you're out here in this really nice valley. Medicine Bow River runs north-south here, and get excellent views of Elk Mountain and Pinnock Mountain, Kennedy Peak over to the west. It's a little early when we came across here, but I imagine sunset would be a nice time to be running down this road. Eventually, as you cross this fairly flat area with the Medicine Bow Valley down below, you'll come into the town of Elk Mountain. We noticed a little buck antelope here, stopped and took a few pictures of him and came on into town. Went past the Elk Mountain Hotel and stopped here at the Elk Mountain Trading Post, got a sandwich. Turned out an old friend from high school was working, got to talking with the cook. He was married to a friend of mine from high school, so I came back to visit her, and that was a nice way to finish off a pretty nice, although long day of driving around the woods in my escape capsule, which is my Toyota FJ. So here, I guess that's about all we need to describe the trip. It's a nice little drive. You can make it in most vehicles. If you want to stop and fish and all that, I'd figure on maybe a whole day, or then if you have any little problem, you can have enough daylight to get that resolved. So let's get on with the video, and I hope you enjoy watching it. It was one of the nicer trips. There's some really nice scenery up here, a lot of open meadows, unlike a lot of the four-wheel drive trails that are in deep timber. This one has quite a few open spots, so you can enjoy some nice vistas along the way. So I guess that's about all. Time to stop this segment. Okay, here we are at the beginning of Forest Service Road 103. Just a little bit of a sprinkle going on, but not too bad. In the foreground is the backside of the Snowy Range up above timberline, not too far away actually. The road in here in this first part's pretty good. You can drag a pretty good sized camp trailer in here, and as you might imagine, the better the road, the more people you're likely to see. This wouldn't be a bad spot to set up a base camp if you wanted to spend a few days in this area. I don't know exactly when they open the road, but this is high altitude, so it's not open till midsummer anyway. Still a lot of snow up here. Probably July sometime. Even in July there's can be quite a bit of snow up here. It's been drier lately, so I think this year came up here in late July, the 28th. This video was shot the 28th of July. Okay, so right here we're at South Twin Lake. A little muddy spot, don't look too bad. Okay, here is where Road 103 is four-wheel drive. It's pretty obvious here. There's a gate here that will be closed if you come up here too early in the season. Kind of bumpy, but there's no really big gigantic rocks, so it's not too bad. There's a few hikers on the road. I'll stop and visit with this guy a little bit. Nice place for wildflowers. This year was a little bit dry, not quite as many as I'm used to seeing. This area is right on the edge of timberline, so there's quite a few alpine meadows to drive through. It makes it a nice, pleasant drive. A couple years ago I had a Silverado pickup 3/4 ton, and it was a little lower to the ground, and I had to go pretty slow, and I touched a couple rocks going into Dipper Lake. I didn't run the whole road out to Elk Mountain, but you can make it in here with a pickup if you go slow and easy. Here's one of the meadows. Nice place to be. There's a few little hills, but they're not too bad. Looks like we have some more hikers coming down the trail. Oh, and the dogs are having fun. There's some more flowers. I didn't get out and check the needles, but I imagine most of these trees are Engelmann spruce. Up here high, there's a lot of little bubbling brooks and just charming little spots if you look around. Another advantage to going slow. See a lot more if you go slow. I guess I learned that from mushroom hunting. You take your time and go slow. Soak it all in. Awful lot of detail here. This road has quite a few little water crossings. The bottoms, for the most part, are rock hard. They're no problem to get through. Earlier in the season, there'll be more water, so could be a little bit more of an issue earlier in the year. But that might be more fun, actually. Here's another nice big meadow. I'm thinking if you parked in one of these meadows about sundown, you could get some nice pictures of wildlife. Haven't tried it, I don't know for sure, but any case, it'd be a nice place to spend a few hours, run up after work. Now there's a couple little spurs that go into Dipper Lake. Oh, it looks like somebody's camped there. I think when I was up here, I took the other road. It's further down a little bit. Well, let's take a panorama shot here. This video is all 4 times normal speed. Trying to keep it down to a reasonable size. I think we finished up about 1 hour and 11 minutes. Okay guys, time to go again. Dogs just hate these trips. Well, there's the backside of the snowy range. It's got a fairly gentle slope, really rocky up there. There's Dipper Lake. There's the other road that goes in. We'll not go down there today. And there's the escape capsule. So, that was Dipper Lake. I wished on this trip I would have driven down the other road there where these guys are coming out. Got some pictures, but I didn't. So if you come up here, you might want to think about doing that. It's really pretty there to the right. It's a nice place to camp back there. Now here's a little bitty lake. I don't know if it has a name, but it's really cool. It's got this little island in it. It even shows up on the map. And of course, when I was a kid, I would have had to get out to that island and claim it for my own. But that water's cold, so I'll skip that today. It's really a gorgeous spot, though. Well, up a little hill here. In general, the terrain's fairly flat, but it has some ups and downs. This is the mountains after all. A good portion of this road follows this big long meadow, and it really makes for a nice drive. It's open, you can see, get some nice photographs. Beautiful green. Something about alpine meadow green just jumps right out at you. With the overcast skies, we can get pretty good color saturation today, so it was really a nice drive. Yeah, the road's pretty good in through here. Looks like we've got a little stream to go across down here. It's pretty dry though. Could be a whole lot different early in the season when the snow's still melting. I wonder if anything's under there. I guess not. Here come some guys. I think they just came off the Quealy Trail. Not sure. Well, this might be a nice spot for another panorama shot. This camera has a panorama function. You just push a button and swing around and get the pictures. It usually stitches them together fairly nicely, and then when you do the video you can do a pan and you get something like this. It's kind of nice. So this is actually a computer-generated pan from a long, narrow image taken by a still camera. And there again is the escape capsule. My escape from reality, or maybe my escape to reality. That sounds better, I think. And that was taken right here. I lost a little bit of video. I don't know if the battery went out on the camera or the storage card, but on down the road a little bit, there's these cabins and this little road that takes you down to a little lake down here. Hard to imagine what life was like. I don't know if these cabins were just used in the summer months. Get a lot of snow up here, and even with big logs, eventually snow winds, roofs cave in. This one's holding up so far. Okay, let's Run down to this little lake. Take a look. It's not so far. If you're willing to do just a little bit of hiking, there's dozens of little alpine lakes up here. I think most of them have brook trout in them. If you like to fish, I think those people are fishing or enjoying the view. So let's run back up to Road 103. I might take the alternate here. Rocks aren't a problem, it's that tree sticking out. I get enough scratches in the paint as it is. Here we are back to the cabins again. Now the road goes through a few trees here, and you notice the meadow just kind of steps down. We lose altitude as we head north. There's a fella here in a pickup. I don't know at this point if he came in from the Rollins side or Elk Mountain side, or came up from Laramie. I think we're about halfway down the four-wheel drive portion of this trip anyway. A little bumpy. If you pay attention though, you can miss the more problematic rocks. where you get a little bit of grade, the road washes out some and exposes more rocks, and then it stabilizes. I have no idea how long this road has been here, but judging from those cabins, it's been here a long time. It's a nice view. Big, large hill. What's that called? Pine Butte, looks like on the map. There goes Bud. Not a bad way to spend a day. You know, I think a mountain bike would be fun on this road. If you started up at 130, there are some hills, but the general trend is downhill, and so I think it would be a fun ride. Heck, I might even try it. Now this spot here, we're in the east-west portion of the trail here, and I think I mentioned in the map preview where this was at. I think it's actually a little further to the east than what I indicated before. I don't know, I could probably get through there. And if I didn't, I could winch myself on through. But, you know, you just don't know what's under that water as far as rocks and stuff go. And since there is a viable alternative, I think we'll take that little careful maneuvering through the trees here, and no problem, on our way. This part of the road's pretty rocky. It'll shake you up pretty good. There's a little bit of a opening. This video doesn't show all the photos I took. I tend to go hog mad wild with the camera. So I stopped quite a bit. It's kind of lumpy in here, it looks like. Want to be careful where those tires go. And we're right near this little bitty lake here. There it is off to the left. Kind of a view from the inside. There's my little dash cam. A little camera only costs 30 bucks. Now the stitch on the still camera had some issues here. See that with the mirror, but it still turned out kind of nice. Well, about now I've had enough bouncing around. I'm hoping we hit the main road pretty soon. Shouldn't be too far. Here's a nice little spot under a log. So many beautiful details all around. Some moss. Here's the gate that they keep closed on the north end until the Forest Service thinks enough of the snow has melted to be reasonable to let people in. You don't do that, then folks will tend to drive around the snow drifts and those meadows. It just causes an awful lot of damage. So here we are. I think we're still on 103. This part is pretty good shape. Maybe better stop and check the map. Check the GPS. Okay, so smooth sailing from here on out. These spruces are not quite as vulnerable to the pine bark beetle as the lodgepoles are that you find a little lower altitude and in the southern part. Oh, here's Road 105. We need to hang a left here. But in any case, when you're back on these back roads, it's good to carry a saw in case a tree falls down in the road. And when you come up here early in the year, oftentimes you'll find, or at least I do, you're the first one down the road since winter, and you may have to cut several trees to get where you want to go. That's not a big problem if you're on your way in and you see a tree and you can't get it out of the way. You can turn around and go home. But if one falls down while you're back here and there's only one way out, then you have to have a way to remove the tree. Chainsaw is good, and a backup handsaw in case you can't get it started. So here we are at the road 100 now, and this is pretty much a highway almost. Throw some asphalt on here and you'd have a highway. Well, I think we're getting close to Turpin Reservoir. It's turnoff's right up ahead a little bit, I think. Check the map, make sure we're taking the right road. I like to use the map on the GPS, but it's good to have a paper map too. They're quick and easy to glance at. The GPS can just verify you understand your location correctly. Well, here's the dam. It's a pretty good sized dam actually. You know, I've never fished this lake. It looks like there's a couple folks doing just that. But I do know my dogs would sure love to get out and run around a little bit, maybe do some swimming. So we'll stop here and take a few pictures and let the dogs play a bit. Yeah, see, we just a little bit off the dam. Been dry around here the last few years. We had a couple good years, but then many years that have been below normal. It's pretty clear when you look at the level in this lake that we could use some water. So I think in normal conditions we wouldn't be able to drive down in here. Bud was chasing a killdeer, and Bonnie's not quite that energetic, but she likes to swim. Get a drink of water. Okay. Back on road 101 or 100. Excuse me. We're on our way to road 101. Not sure why I stopped here. Looks like some logging going on in this area. Okay, we're getting real close to Road 101. We cross the Medicine Bow River here. Little campground here. We're almost to the edge of the forest. Try not to run those people over. Yep, there's Road 101. This will take us on out to Elk Mountain. The town of Elk Mountain. Elk Mountain proper will be to our west, and we'll get some nice views of that once we get out of all these trees and valley. Well, you can see a little bit of it now. And as we go a little lower in elevation, we see more aspen trees. There's Elk Mountain. And here's a Forest Service work camp. I don't think I want to run into one of those guys. Even with the ARB bumper, it would be a messy experience. There's Elk Mountain, and as we zoom out, we'll be able to see a little bit of Medicine Bow River Valley. It's a big place. More hamburger in the road. What a nice view. These are all good roads. You can get to this place easy enough from the Elk Mountain side without a four-wheel drive. And once you get up in the woods, you can either essentially go left and come back through Sand Lake, or you head more to the right, get up on Brush Creek Road, and you'll end up just down from Ryan Park, and then you can take 130 back. That's a longer way back to Laramie. Some nice hay meadows. guess when somebody talks about wide open spaces, this is what they mean. Just amazing open scenery. The landscape here is pretty amazing. Well, looks like the camera mount came loose here, so I'll probably just stop and get that fixed. Well, it's starting to get late in the day. The hills are casting some long shadows. Kind of a magical time of day, I think. Oh, there goes some antelope. There's a little buck off to the right. I think we'll go see if we can get a couple pictures of him. Oh yeah, there he is. Now sometimes the old does will have horns as well. So I could be mistaken. This little guy doesn't have very big horns. His markings on his face, I would guess he's a buck. Even deer females will occasionally have antlers. They have a hormone imbalance. I shot one once. It was actually a doe. Okay. And now we are entering the thriving metropolis of Elk Mountain, Wyoming. Off to the right here is the Elk Mountain Hotel. And then across the river, and wow, look, pavement, my goodness. To the right there is the trading post. We're going to pull in here and get a bite to eat. And that pretty much makes for a pretty good day, I think, in my estimation. Hope you enjoyed the trip as much as I did. Well, at least, I don't know, at least some. Till next time, we'll see you. Bye.